We're about to go live. All right.
Where the hell's my other grip at? Oh, my phone's holding. Let's hold my phone up.
Yes. All right. We're live. We're good to go.
What is up, YouTube?
What up? We're waiting on Craig to hop on here. Let me get this link out to these guys. Tonight, we're going to have on Chris Zielinski and Austin Wade. We're going to talk to Austin Wade about his win at Washington State's and all that. We'll let some people hop on this chat real quick, and I'm going to send the link out, Trent.
Sounds good.
All that. All right. All right. So Arm Wrestling Podcast says, what's up? What's up? We got one person in here already. We only need 3, and it's a success.
Hell yeah. That's all we need. 3 or more is just too many.
Is there a bomb about to go off in my house? I'm the only guy set off a smoke alarm with an air fryer.
How the hell did you do that?
What's up?
I've done it.
You have?
Mm-hmm. Horrible.
All right. We're gonna have Chris Zielinski on and Austin Wade. Let some people get in the chat real quick. I'm shooting these guys the link. See if they could figure it out.
I make sure my forearms are nice and pumped up before the chat starts.
Let me see. That's it. Let me see that pump. All right.
Yeah, it ain't horrible.
No, it ain't bad. For a 165 guy, it's acceptable.
Hey, I was 178.3 this morning, butt naked.
Jesus.
I'm like,
Right.
shit, I got to make sure I'm 176. Chance to make for 198 class.
Craig, that Legend of Jeremy Pappy video was so good.
Dude,
Dude,
I did it.
everybody's there,
I
man.
was laying in bed and I just clicked on to see what you guys were talking about. And then it was right on there, dude. It was fucking the best ever.
It was so true, too. That's what people from another place don't think.
Dude, it's 100% true.
Chris Zielinski joining the chat.
What up, man? What up?
Also known as Right the Hand.
It should be left hand. It's freaking less a beast.
Yeah,
I got the pleasure of feeling it.
break your right, do everything with your left.
Are you in a shed in the woods somewhere, like the Unabomber or something? You got terrible reception.
I love it.
I live in Gainesville.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like in a very yuppie part of the area, I guess you could say.
I know all about the area. I'm trying to build some property up there. Up in Bronson, Chiefland area.
Oh, you're trying to get closer to me, huh?
I'm trying to, man. Trying to. Then I
Housing prices went
I
nuts.
actually have a friend. It's the only place I can hang out with my friends.
That's it. I am your only friend. That's why that's what you're saying.
One of them, absolutely. Austin's probably struggling with the phone. His giant thumb won't press the right button.
He's got to get the dialing wand.
Exactly. Stylus, so he can log on. Yeah. So tell us about Chris. Let's talk to you. People can watch the replay. We'll get some people in here eventually, but
Yeah, I got
tell us about what you've done. How long you've been arm wrestling?
like 2 years. Started arm wrestling like with the ArmBet app. That was that's kind of what got it all started.
For people that
And-
don't know, that's like Tinder for arm wrestlers.
Yeah, if you're not on that, man, you gotta definitely get on it if you're looking for a place to find some people. Yeah, so started there, and we had started with 3 guys, and then just my first tournament was King of Florida, No, it was a Florida State. Yeah, I got luckily I was just one of those things. I got first left and right, and
What
then
class?
a couple months 154 amateur. Yeah, so yeah, no, that's the other thing. Like I've put on 20 pounds since I started arm wrestling, just because arm wrestling, right? It's when you're like, oh, let me go down to a lower class. Like Trent can probably, attest to this too, because I know he's been a 155er. It's tough, man. Like it's tough to keep that weight. And like I just felt like I wasn't getting any stronger, right? Like I was always at this balance of like not trying to gain too weight or whatnot. And then, so you can watch what you eat and stuff. And I'm already so skinny, like so that it wasn't a good thing. So yeah, I feel much better. I feel much better at 170s and then 155. So.
Yeah, like you said, Chris, I struggle with the same thing. Like trying to stay at 154, 155. I was losing gains in the gym. I was always tired. Like you said, if your body naturally wants to sit and walk around mid 170s for arm wrestling, you might as well just stay up there instead of trying to struggle the whole time at 155, 154, because you'll never, to me anyways, I never felt like myself. I mean, I placed at Florida State. I placed third to Tyler Bennett and Kevin Palco, but like I feel like if I was a healthy 176, I feel like I'd have done a lot better and just pulled the 176 class. So, I mean, I know exactly what you're saying. Like, to me, my body just reacts a lot better 175 to 180. I can always cut 3 or 4 pounds out before a tournament. And I always feel like my strength is a lot better. I feel better when I go to a tournament. I'm not, hungry.
Yeah, no, well, that's, not having to make weight is another big thing, right? Like you go in there and your routine is not off. And especially, when you're newer to arm wrestling, one of the things, and if you're like me, newer guy, you're not just like, oh, I didn't just do this just for, hanging out. Like I was like, yeah, I want to take this a little more serious than, most people. So if you're going to be going to tournaments, you're like, oh, I want to get wins, right? So when you start kind of chasing wins, you're like, well, let me try and cut weight to get into the 155 so I can, I could be a big 155 and maybe get some pins. And then that's, again, I did it. And it's people do it all the time, but arm wrestling's a little different because it's just such a unique, because it's tendons and ligaments and they take just so much longer to recover. And it's not like you can just kind of prep your body, so to speak, especially in the beginning, because you get beat down so long to recover from the arm wrestling training, and just your arms are always sore. So to trying to be cutting weight and staying thin while you're trying to not be crazy sore, that's a harder thing.
You can't, you're already starving. You're already, your body's not 100% healthy. You're trying to stay at that weight while body's trying to heal. It makes the healing process a lot longer. And honestly, I think that's what caused me to get hurt the way I did and break my hand and tear my tendons, because I was at that 153, 154. I was eating maybe 1,000 calories a day trying to make 154 at Florida State. And I think that's what caused me to get injured, because my body wasn't healthy.
Oh yeah, that I 100% say that. Like I've had some nagging injuries, not injuries, but just like some pains and stuff that'll hinder training. Maybe going inside hurts a little bit more than going outside, stuff like that. And for sure, like I would have sped a lot of that healing up, I feel, had I been, just a bigger weight, because when you're trying to watch your weight, you're not going to be getting your nutrients. And
exactly.
Ironically, like breaking my arm was like one of the things that kind of like really brought the attention of like, I'm like, bro, I have to just load my body, right? Like, because if you have a major like damage like that, you're like, I want my body to have everything it needs and then some to heal, right? Like I don't want to be trying to do anything watching my weight while I'm trying to heal up. So yeah, the past like just I would say 6 months of just like, what, like forget trying to stay to weight. I'm just gonna, and I've been hovering around like 172. So like a solid like 10 pounds, 10, 15 pounds of like where I just used to stay at. And I feel so much better. So one advice I would give to any new person is like, don't try and make a weight class, like down anyway. Like if you're like, 160, just better off putting the 15 on than trying to cut the 5.
How did you
I completely agree.
How did you come back from the arm break, like mentally, to get back on the table? Did you have
Oh,
any
man.
struggle?
Oh yeah. No, that, it's so funny because I know you've had you broke your arm too, and you were the only person that when I would talk about it, you were like, "How are you doing mentally?" Right? Like everybody else was like, "Oh, how's your arm? How's this?" And within 3 weeks, I was like, I couldn't arm wrestle, but I was carrying stuff, right? Like it's, so yeah, it was you know, it's just one of those things where I was like, you know what? I'm not going to stop pulling lefty. And I think that's what kind of really helped because it was like I never was out of arm wrestling. You know what I mean? What up, Austin?
Oh, bro.
It was just, you're just, you're going to pull lefty. And it was, I like to, I'm a believer in God and I think he has a big plan for everybody. And, whether you want to try and follow the plan or not, he's going to make you follow the plan. And I was getting sucked into this, again, I was chasing wins, right? Because my right hand was I started at a pretty good level and, I was able to get wins. And I was like, well, fuck the left. I'm just going to, again, chase wins instead of trying to build a foundation. I was like, oh, let me cut down to 155, focus on the right hand and I'll be getting wins. And then, you break your arm. And then it was like, you know what, that really wasn't such a great strategy to start with. Right. So like, maybe later on, but yeah, now just being able to have a good left arm, I think that has really, if you're saying what has kept me in it, what has helped with the mental aspect is like just focusing on the other arm as silly as it sounds, but it just was like, it was like the party never stopped almost like, I was at Mayhem 3 weeks later. So, and I was after that next week, I was still pulling on the left hand. So it was just a desire to not want to give up. And, I'll always respect anybody that breaks because it is not an easy thing to come back from, especially that first pull, you're like, not even your first pull, a bunch of pulls. It's been a year and a half now, maybe almost 2 years. Yeah, a year and a half. And it's just gotten to the point where like, I don't worry about it. There was times like, even a year later where you're pulling and you're like, that's a weird position. Let me not do that. Or just your mind was in it. So yeah, it was you gotta want it. You can't, life will always give you an excuse to quit, right? Like no matter what it is, whatever you're doing, it'll be like, hey, here, look, life's hard. And you'll be like,
That's
Austin,
a great
what do you
attitude.
think, back
Great
game?
attitude.
What's up?
You under a 90s UV black light or something?
Oh, you want to change the mood?
Yeah. Give us a little red lighting, something sexy.
Oh, you want some red?
That's okay. Yeah.
Right,
I get some white going.
yeah, there you
Yellow,
go.
if you just set it yellow.
Oh,
son.
we got yellow. We got yellow.
Come on.
What we got for yellow? There we
There
go.
you go.
There it is.
All right.
FAO.
That's it. Official
Yeah, there's
FAL
that.
lighting. There you go.
There we go.
All right. So we got Austin joining the chat. Chris, you got a couple fans in here. All these people are saying what's up to you, man. Ralph Smith Arm Wrestling says what's up. John
hey,
Bell says what's up.
yeah, elbow surfers, man.
Stuart
Yeah,
Stuart Hyatt's in the chat. He's making sure everyone says Dustin will whoop my ass again. A whole nother
Dustin will whoop your ass.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
we
hear
hear
you.
you good.
Okay.
We're just
Okay.
ignoring you.
No, I was just making sure because I ain't never done this before.
Nah,
How do you see the-
Carl saying what up?
See the chat. There we go.
So,
No?
Austin, tell us about well, first we had Tim on last night. Tim Talmadge. He
Yeah,
hosted.
I seen him on. I was
Tell us
watching.
about the tournament. Tell us about your brackets or classes. We know you won, but who
Yeah, the
took second? These are the things we want to hear.
Yeah, I heard you last night. You said I took second left-handed. I ended up getting third left to Brian Fry and Eli.
No, I'm sorry.
What up?
Eli and who?
Brian Fry.
Brian Fry and Eli Sadoff. Okay.
Yep.
No, Eli's not a bad loss at all.
No, I never even pulled him. I lost to Brian twice.
Well, fucking A. They really ain't a bad loss.
I know. I wanted to pull him, but the tournament was great. The flame flights went okay. We ended up getting there around noon, eating, chilling mostly. We chilled the whole day Saturday, waiting to pull. The classes were stacked. Each class, every class had like over 15 people. My class had 16, but It was a fun tournament. It was definitely worth
So
going.
the class you won, did you go A side all the way undefeated?
Yeah.
That's a lot easier of a day than
Yeah.
in third. How quick did you go B side?
I think we were, oh wait, B side I went
When did you first
second match. Left
and
handed.
you got
Yeah.
knocked out in the you won the you
Yeah.
got knocked out in the semifinals.
Yeah.
Would it ever be advantageous to sandbag the first match to go to B side?
Yes.
So because it's easier to run through B side than A side. So
Yeah,
if you're
I'll give you an
confident.
example. A game me and Artem play is we will figure out who is stronger for the day very quickly as soon as we warm up. So let's just say that he's stronger today, which he is. I'm going to tell him if we draw each other first, I will lay down to him. Hopefully we don't. The best scenario is we draw a couple bums first off. But at some point, they're going to run me and Artem together unless we're on very opposite ends of the bracket. At that point, he lays down, or I lay down. He wins. I'm fresh. Then he's obviously going to be very strong. So we have him hit everybody into a good advantageous position where he just bleeds them out. And then as soon as they lose this bleeding war that he was in control of, right? So it wasn't taxing on him, but to them, it was a death match. They come on down to me and I'm fresh as a daisy sitting B-side. And then I meet him next. He gives me one match. We're 1-1 and we have a real match for the finale. That's usually how we make it to the end of the bracket. But don't tell nobody.
I gotcha. No, yeah.
Well,
Well,
one.
well, you got to do what you got to do to.
It's a game. This is chess, fellas.
I didn't see the
exactly.
chat. I can't see the chat.
Are you on YouTube?
No, I'm on
Yeah, you won't see the chat on Zoom. You got to look on YouTube.
it wouldn't let me create an account because I couldn't get the email to send fast enough
What?
on Zoom.
Well,
Like,
just
I don't-
right now, you can see the chat if you just go to the live stream we got on YouTube itself,
Okay.
and then just click the live chat. I'm watching the chat, for example, on my phone.
Oh, see, I'm on my phone.
So, who else won out there? Andre and Artem. Burnt up was
Andre won left. Artem won right-handed 220. Corey Miller won right hand 176 and won left hand.
With him.
No, he beat me in overalls though. I tried to get me a little strap going on and
He's fast, huh?
yeah, and I
Yeah.
How
got caught
strong?
lacking.
Do you feel like if you could have got a stop, you could, or was it just too? Because I've seen.
No, I definitely, if I would have hooked him, I
If
would
you got to
have.
stop. You could hang with him.
No, if I hooked him, I would have beat him that day.
Yeah, but Corey isn't about if you stop him. He's like Travis Page.
Well, I should have. I should have tried to
lightning bolt. So
fucking go for a strap. I should have just arm wrestled, let him go for a strap because that's where he was going. He was running. I should have just arm wrestled him like I did the rest of the day instead of. Honestly, I was so excited about the win I got before that with Artem. I was like, I don't care who beats me. Beating Artem was a good win for me. I wanted that.
well, y'all had a fucking burner, so
yeah, we did.
it was it wasn't an easy match for either person.
No, hell no. He definitely once he dropped, he started putting a little tax on my arm, but I was still fresh. Basically, I felt great.
You looked good. I watched some of the stream. You looked good. It looked like you cut through everybody.
Eli, he got a win on me because I elbow fouled, but it was a coincidental elbow foul, and they called it on me, and I fouled out. But at no point in time in that match did I ever feel like he was going to pin me.
Did you did you go to Florida State?
No, I don't think so.
Stream? What do you think of how it was set up, all the pictures and shit?
Your tournament was badass for sure.
It looked crazy, dude. I wish you were there to see it.
Yeah, I know.
Because you had to see, like, when you walked in, it was like, holy hell. We had such a big production. And you see all the crazy stuff that's happening.
Oh, I know. It's freaking awesome. I love what y'all are doing.
What the heck? Why
I just
was
think
that?
that, man, I think there's is our ring girl made an appearance?
I just got hurt.
All right, this is the official FAL ring girl.
Oh,
Gotta get Trent's ordering the booty shorts. He has to approve. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's super exciting. We got all these events. We're gonna do this. We got the guaranteed payout at the end. We're actually finalizing a couple cool things, but we're gonna get everyone master certified.
Yeah.
Everyone ref. You should, I mean, anyone that wants to go down and just something good if you want to jump on.
Where who's doing the master reffing?
So I think Ryan Thames is gonna come down. Or I'm sorry, not Ryan Thames. Luke Polsher is.
Culture?
Yeah, we're gonna fly him in. He's gonna master certify everybody, and I believe it's WAF certified.
Yeah.
And the only dilemma is he's only gonna certify the guys that pass.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
yeah, which sucks because we might have 10 guys try and make one pass.
Yeah.
But I think
least-
if you're not,
Yeah, I mean, well,
I think it's a good idea just as an arm wrestler to know to be a ref, you know. So I would definitely want to know like what the refs are looking for, right? So it's like being a cop, you know what you can get away with in some regards, and also like just get the setup like better in your favor or at least fairer. If you're like, hey, he's doing this, because they're going to show you what to look for very specifically, I would assume.
have you guys been following what the format's gonna be and everything and all these little changes, Austin, Chris?
like I've been following a lot.
So the weigh-ins, you see, we're now having a triple weigh-in.
Yeah, all around the state. Yeah, that's badass.
How nice is that when you want to make?
That's awesome.
Bro,
I
who
didn't really is
money?
badass.
Who has the money at $4 a gallon to drive or whatever to drive from Jackson?
Nobody wants to do that. Nobody
And then
wants to
back
go
home?
down to Orlando and go back and then come back the next day.
Nobody, bro. So we've now saved arm wrestlers thousands of dollars in just fuel or hundreds of dollars at least of wasted time. You can go weigh in at and we got honorable guys doing the weigh.
A lot of people
Yeah,
are probably
that
going to
could
start
grow,
doing
too.
that. Yeah, a lot of
That's what
people
I
are
was
probably
gonna
going to
say,
start doing that in other states.
They should.
I
They
would say
should.
even getting more in Florida, right?
As long as they have a lot of teams they can trust. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's why we're
What
not
about
having
certify it?
We have a ton of teams. Like
the other thing is, dude, you're not going to be waiting no more than 4 hours to arm wrestle anymore.
yeah. Oh yeah.
We've reduced the experience now. I don't know if you followed there. We're going to have from about 10 to 2, pretty much 9 to 1, that block for the novice class. For the pro classes, it's going to be 10 to 6, 10 to 7 with the overall and all that.
Yep.
It's not 10, 2 to 6, 2 to 7.
Yeah.
So if let's say, for example, you guys, your whole family, everybody's planned a Disney vacation, right? You got your kids down there. Craig, you got the kids down, right? This is how you justified it to the wife. And then she finds out it's going to take all Saturday. There's really no time. You could go to Disney. These guys that fly in, they can go do whatever, sightsee, have breakfast. You don't need to wake up at 8 a.m. and start driving. You can wake up at 10:30, eat some breakfast, come on down. It's a totally different experience, man. When the weigh-in starts at 10 and's over at 12 and you're from Jax, you better be up around 8 o'clock getting it ready, or else
for sure.
thing.
Yeah, you're gonna be late.
Peaking your body is the other hard thing too. When you're like standing around for 8 hours or something, it's hard to get physically and mentally ready. The smaller the block of time is, the easier you're to just
you have to figure that out.
Hey, fellas, I'll be right back.
Yep. Yeah.
I gotta turn the grill on.
That was a big part of Washington. It was only supposed to go on until about 4, 5. I think he said was the latest, and the amateurs end up running until 4.
Damn.
It's
an all-day affair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. That sucks.
We pulled. Yeah.
We're never going to have that problem ever again.
I expected it.
We're not going to have that problem ever again. What we will do in the event that, let's say, 200 amateurs and 200 pros show up, we have additional FAL. We bought more and more custom tables. We will run 2 separate tournaments in 2 separate sides of the hall or the spot or wherever we're at. Whatever ballroom or stage, wherever it is, and they will just continue on. We're going to have 2 separate staffs one for each tournament. And it's just going to be super easy. So there may be an overlap one day where the amateur tournament is overlapping and the pro tournament is starting 20 feet away.
Yeah, stuff happens.
And their finals might be when our prelims are, but essentially they're going to be able to get their medal and go home. Or if they want to stick around, they can hang out. But
I mean, it is arm wrestling. You can't judge how long each match is going to take. And
Yeah.
of course, you want it to run as fast as possible, but it's,
Well, and the only one that's taking a hit on the timing is the promoter. We can typically knock this out in 6 hours, 7 hours. So instead, now for the promoter, it's going to be a 10-hour day.
Yeah.
But for the arm wrestler and the other 299 people there, they're going to get a much smoother experience because they're going to only be committed to half of the day. And I think that's going to change everything. If people don't adapt that, it's just foolish, dude.
Yeah.
It's the fact that we're starting at 1 or 2 in the afternoon is retarded.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Let's get it on. If you go to a 5K race or to the Spartan race or a mud, anything, it's on at 8 a.m.
Yeah. Let me tell you, when I wake up in the morning and it's game day, I'm ready to go. I'm out of bed at 6 a.m. I'm eating breakfast. I'm fueling up. I'm drinking water, and I'm ready to pull at 10. You know what I mean? And then I get there and I'm ready to pull. And then you blow your load after sitting there for a while if you haven't been doing this a long time, and know that you're going to be sitting there for hours on end.
I agree.
And that was one of the big changes that like going to tournaments, like I didn't get worked up, especially like the more tournaments you go to, you're like, oh, like, I got hours, bro. Don't worry. There's no.
But then again, it's still hard. You still do the same thing, and you're like, you fight yourself.
The worst thing
my biggest problem always is like, you do your left-handed, so you get your adrenaline, you go through your left-handed matches, and you might have to wait 4 to 5 hours before you get to right-handed. So like all the adrenaline you had saved up and you had left-handed, it's gone.
That's what happened in California.
It's terrible.
In California, I pulled I pulled one time, then I pulled 2 hours later, and then I pulled 2 hours later, and then I pulled 2 hours later.
Yeah.
It was
like
terrible.
They take a break for the finals. They take a 2-hour break and then
run it through. Get it.
It's like, I'm dying over here. Let's go.
Yeah. We came here to arm wrestle. I mean, run it through.
I lost my whole pump by then. I'm weak.
Yeah,
I always tell Brandon when I'm reffing, he's like, Trent, you want a break? I'm like, nope, let's just keep running. I'm in my zone. I'm reffing. Let's just keep running it. He's like, all right, let's go. And we just keep fucking running it. Like there ain't no sense of stopping.
Let me ask you guys a question. What class you guys intend to pull at for the season? So I want to explain something. People may not understand exactly how the points race are split up. I know y'all probably seen we're going to announce the exact formula for how to earn points, but this is important for everybody to know and to keep track of. There is separate points races for each weight class, each hand, right? So you will be, let's say you get the most points in the 198 right hand, or the FAL season 198 right hand champion.
Yes, no matter if you place second or third at a tournament one time.
Yeah, well, none of that will matter as much as
long as you have.
There's no guy that has that's 220 pounds that has more points that's going to take your money.
Yeah.
So you don't have to work. It's not like the guys that, the lighter guys or whatever are going to get it, or the heavy guys. It's all going to be split among each class. So it's super important that you can double class it, but you need to realize you're competing in 2 separate points races. So it's going to be pretty important to pick a class, that guy that's on the
for sure.
Because you don't want, let's say that you could have enough points through the whole season to win the bitch, but you split them among 2 and now you're like the 3rd place guy in both.
Yeah. It's kind of like you watch Street Outlaws with
I haven't watched any of the new formats, but yes.
No, me neither really, but they do about the same thing with the points and like the points races and the winner. He runs through, he earns all these points throughout and at the end of the season, he gets like a $50,000 bonus when he wins, no matter if he lost or, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it won't matter if you lose. It's just going to be accumulative. So let's say that you win, let's say you go to all 11 and you win 7 of them. Artem wins 4 and y'all took second similar amount of times. You will be the winner if you have more, but remember the other thing is there's going to be some bonus points awarded for the overall winner.
Oh yeah.
And then you got to remember you can always sign up in the overall.
Yeah.
So let's
and then earn those points back.
the one that Austin or the one that Artem gets over on you. You know, you took 4 points, he took 6, some shit like that. You're like, nah, you know what? I'm gonna take a chance. I'm gonna go get me 6 more points. And now you actually took 10 today despite taking second place.
Yeah.
So that's a good example of where the overall is it's gonna be the Joker card, man. It really is. It's gonna be the wild card that where it's gonna be unpredictable because unless you are 10, 20 points ahead of somebody, which may happen if someone pulls away, but I think we're gonna have that narrowed down where it's a lot more competitive than that.
Yeah.
Those that
I
complete
think so too.
class worth of points in the overall is gonna have to value. It is. So it's gonna create some scenarios like, damn, he won them points. Like if I win these, I'm totally in the lead now, despite not winning the tournament. And so it's going to be interesting. It really is.
Have you got
But
how much
everybody's
like
gonna need to pick a class? You know, you want to stay in the same class from a strategic
For sure.
standpoint.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Anyways, like
have you got figured out first place is 5 points, second place is 3 points, third place like 2 points.
For example, yes. And that would be the simplest version of the formula. And that may be what we go with because that's kind of our example that we bounce around. And then you're probably going to get 1 point for entering.
Okay, so you
That's
get 2
the other
points for
thing.
third place.
Yeah, so
So
that's
1 point for entering in the.
yeah, and we'll see. Like I said, we want to play out a few scenarios through the season with the points. And because we just want to pick what's most competitive. I wanted to come down to the finale where everyone is just like, dude, I need this win. I gotta place. If I place third and he places second, I still win. You know,
Yeah,
that
we
was-
want it to be as
Refresh them
close
real
as
quick.
possible.
what?
So we want the finale Florida States to be like as close as possible. Like we want, 5 guys within 2 to 3 points of each other and just battling it out that final tournament of the year. We got to make sure their system has it where, a guy doesn't get 30, 40, 50 points ahead of somebody because you can't do like 1 point, 5 points, 10 points.
So the
they
key
got
with that is to not have the points so valuable. If you start doing a system
Yeah.
where it's like 10, 20, 30,
yeah.
you can get a scenario where a guy's 120 points ahead of everybody.
Yeah,
yeah,
we got to
Off
keep
of-
it close together.
Well, the
like
key
few
is
tournaments.
you keep the amount of points reduced down to a small number.
Yep.
So it's impossible to get 100 points, right? You're never going to have a huge gap between the two. And we're testing a few other little plans, and we'll fine tune the formula, but essentially you could go off of like a 1-3-5
Yeah.
point system. That's
I'm
what I
sure.
would use in my head if you're preparing for this. But dude, it's gonna be cool because the guy that's truly the arm, like if me and you arm wrestle 2 times, you might beat me both, but you might not actually be that dude. When
Yeah.
we arm wrestle 11 months, we're gonna know who's the dude at the end.
Yeah,
At
because
that
you're
guy
gonna,
at that
you're gonna arm
award
wrestle a
ceremony
lot.
that's holding the cash, he's gonna know, and it's
I
gonna
think
require,
it's gonna be awesome.
dude, it's gonna require endurance and staying healthy.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
that's the main thing. I mean, you
And
you
may
have to.
take one off, and that's gonna hurt you on the points.
Yeah.
But that's part of that's the strategy, right? Everyone's not gonna hit every one.
No,
So you want to
I plan on traveling a lot next year.
See,
I want to go to nationals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to
maybe
try and get all 10. And now that was one of the things I was talking about with one of the guys today. And he's like, that's 10 tournaments in or 11 tournaments in 10 months, right? He's like,
Yeah.
11
are
and
you,
11 months.
yeah, are you going to be able to train like every Sunday still? And I'm like, no, probably not. I'll probably have to take every
No, you
other week
can.
off.
Well, I think
Absolutely.
everyone will still be. I mean, some of the guys that aren't as new can. Austin's a piece of leather. He could train 3 times a week. Craig
Yeah,
trained
yeah.
at 4 a.m. for the past 6 years.
Yeah.
So he ain't gonna take a day off. Craig, but I do understand what you're saying. Yes, it's gonna be injury management, workload
Yeah.
management, peaking. It's gonna be a big.
Yep.
I think
And
it's
the
cool
other
too
thing-
because
Go ahead.
you'll see how you progress against these people, right? Like you show up 10 times, like Brandon was saying, yeah, you might get me on the first 2, but maybe I start figuring something out. I'm like, oh, he's susceptible to this, or 'cause the more
Exactly.
Yeah, and
times you
all-
grip up
all
with
them-
somebody.
All them things make you a better arm wrestler.
And you got to think about it. Yeah, you might not be able to train, 3 months straight and hit a tournament. but you're pretty much getting 11 chances to pretty
Yeah.
much train in a way to learn everything. And especially with us spreading out now, throughout the state, I may only get to pull David Rutherford or George maybe twice a year. Now I'm probably going to end up pulling them 8 to 10 times this year, as long as they can travel and do that. It's
Exactly.
going to, we're all going to be gripping up a lot more. We're all going to learn each other's moves and techniques a lot more. And it's going to make everybody level up, and it's going to show out, who really is the best at the end of the year, who can really strive and, keep it up and stay healthy. And like you were saying earlier about the whole weight thing. Yeah, that plays another thing is like how you and I both decided to stay at 176, because you know how hard it would be for most people to stay cut to 154, or if you're a 198 guy and you want to cut back down to 176. When you're pulling 11 tournaments in 11 months, you're not going to be able to do that unless you are a straight savage.
Yeah, that'd be too way too much to drop down. Then you have to get normal. A week later, you got to drop back down. You'd burn out if you're trying to do that.
We got a question in the chat from Ralph Smith Arm Wrestling. He said, say that you enter the 242 and the 243 plus, and you win the overalls. Where do your overall points go?
Good question.
Wherever you'd like.
Yeah, let them
Tell me
choose
which one you want it in, and that's where your points are applied. That's simple.
So it's like it's like wild card points that you can be like, oh, I can do. So you can a little bit strategize. You'd be like, yo, if I can win right on my overalls or win the overalls right, I'll just pump those points into left and try and keep my left up.
No.
It's got to be on the same hand.
It'd be weight class.
But this is a one-off scenario. I do not see many people pulling two classes like that. It's going to be super competitive. I think you guys have never seen a turnout like we're about to have. When you guys show up in your jerseys and then you go home February 4th and post on this February 5th, every one of your friends are going to say, hey, what is that? How do I get involved? When we look this professional, it's going to drive a ton of people, and we're doing so much marketing. I think we're going to start
live stream.
What's that?
The live stream is so good, because a lot of people, you're just getting the empty tables, right? But Kelly was switching back and forth, and he had, when there was nothing, he went back to the banner. The live stream kept people, it was a much better live stream than 95% of the ones where you got the one view, and sometimes somebody gets in the way and you miss half the match because there was a guy standing in the way of the live stream view. So yeah, much more professional.
Yeah, and that's our first time we've ever done that too. Remember that, guys. It's I don't know if anybody's great at doing that, but we have never done something to that scale. And so the finished product I was super impressed with, but I think we're going to blow that out of the water. I think we're absolutely going to kill it. The one good thing about having these 11 events is this, if you miss an event right now, last season in Florida, you had about 60 to 90 days between events. Let's say, for example, the last event you went to is King of Florida. Okay, that was in August, September time. Let's say you missed the Biketoberfest tournament we just had. You wouldn't have went to a tournament until December. So you'd have had 106 or 120 days, almost 4 months between the two. You will not have to worry so much. Let's say Austin suddenly he wants to go to Arizona State and win the Arizona State Championship. That's cool. When he gets back, there's a tournament 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
Right down the road. And the other guy that only wants to go to one, he can't travel, his wife's crazy, whatever the situation is, he can go to, there's going to be 2 northern events. There's a Panhandle event and a Jacksonville event. There's a West Coast event, 2 of them over in Spring Hill. And then the rest of the events are in either Orlando at the convention center.
Bro, you got a pet coon?
Yeah.
If that record doesn't have a WAL shirt on.
It caught me by surprise.
Awesome.
Got to get him an FAL jersey.
It just said animal control entered the chat.
Well, it's legal. I don't want to hear nothing.
All right. But yeah, dude, you're going to be able to go to a tournament, just a couple weeks after the one you missed. So it's not that bad. I mean, a lot of people are like, that's a lot of arm wrestling. You're right. And we could actually have more. We could, man. They play pool at 20 different bars every single night in Orlando. I could find and pick from 6 pool tournaments every single night in Orlando. And there's not one person there that says we have had too many. Now, the reason is because they got so many pool players. We need more arm wrestlers. When we get to the point where we're doing 300, listen, guys, it's not impossible to do 300 entries at every one of these tournaments and blow it up.
I think you can get close at every one of them for sure.
When we get to sponsor, when we get bigger sponsors involved, let's say we get, we're trying to work on an Anheuser-Busch connection, a couple different things. But let's say we get some super big sponsors in here and there's big money. I mean, imagine if I was giving away $50,000 in December.
You couldn't have a venue for all the people that come.
Exactly. And that's not,
I'd be training a lot harder.
We pulled
Everyone
this off. We got
would.
everything
I don't
secure
even.
with ease with the league. Like we could probably pull that off if we knew more people.
I'll tell you right now, you put up 50 grand, I'm moving in with Austin. We were training daily.
You probably would run every tournament out of business.
Hey,
you mean everyone?
All it takes, guys, is everybody showing up looking good and then us taking it to a sponsor. With just the production we put on in September, I was able to secure everything that we're doing now.
Well, and
So
that
what I could do with a whole season's worth.
with that is
But it's how we look.
Yeah, with the league looking good is each individual can go and take that and get sponsors.
Hey man, I'm
and they're
in the Florida Armwrestling League.
Yeah, and they're like, damn, like this is legit.
See, that's what I'm waiting on. As soon as we do the February 4th tournament, I can get some good pictures out of that. You know, all the contractors I work for in the building industry here in Jacksonville, dude, them guys are going to eat it up. You know, we get a box ring and we get ring girls and we get all that stuff.
We're having to say the first event is in the boxing arena at
I know.
your gym.
I guarantee these builders out here that I work, I mean, you know, they're all multi-millionaires. You know,
Yeah.
$1,500, $2,000 ain't nothing to them. They use it for a tax write-off. Here you go, Trent. You know, put my name on a table or on the banner and let's rock it.
No,
They
on a
won't
shirt,
care.
whatever.
Yep.
Craig, you're quiet over there.
I know.
I'm just
Moderating the chat.
reading the chat. Yeah,
I think he's
anything
intimidated
going
by
on?
my beard.
I am. I'm getting a little. That's why I'm trying to hide mine over here.
Getting Craig a beard oil sponsor.
Amish power over
Yeah.
there.
How do you not have a beard oil sponsor commercial on your channel or something? You're the guy for this.
Yes, it's coming. It's coming soon.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
do want to say congratulations to Austin, man. I watched the live stream and of
Thank you.
course I was rooting you on, but it's really great watching you progress. We were talking about this a couple nights ago, just how like seeing Chance and Artem and yourself, you know, I was at the Keith's place when you first, you know, got onto a table and stuff, and you just had that kind of fire and desire to pull. So it's really great to see your progression over the years.
Yeah.
Too much,
I
Craig.
was about to say something.
We need him to back off a
Oh,
little.
yeah, I was about to say something. I forgot. I remember that. I remember that first practice. I remember the day that I went there. It's a pretty funny story. The day that I went there, I was hanging out with a newfound buddy that I was hanging out with, and he was trying to get me to go freaking to Hogwaller and steal coolers and sell them for money, right?
Straight out
And I
of
was
Hawaii.
like, and like I'm chilling at his house. You know, like he was like we had just smoked or whatever, and he was like trying to talk me into going doing this. I was like, well, I am not going to steal coolers. So I called my mom. I'm like mom, I'm like, we're going arm wrestling practice. She's like, what? So I'm like, we're going arm wrestling practice. She's like, what? She's like, I was like, we're going.
Who's
And
practice
think
did you
about-
go to?
Keith Sawyer and Interlarkin. And
Okay.
Think about how
Person,
good you
son.
could have been at stealing coolers.
No shit.
You know,
How
You
rich
would've
I
been
would
one of
be.
the best,
Dude at
bro.
stealing coolers.
how rich I would be? What?
No, you how good at stealing coolers, bro. You would have won the Washington State cooler stealing champ,
Yeah.
man. They
We
beat
see Austin on one of them fuel pages where they have all the fucking people arrested.
It's a funny story. I've always wanted to tell that story. I've never
Good,
told
that's a
anybody.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And
Where do
it's
you
just-
train now, Austin?
I train. I try to hold a practice at my house, and I try to,
Tell us about your
collect.
practice.
I try to. I've over the past couple of years, I've taken over Putnam County Arm Benders. I turned it into full throttle arm wrestling, and I try to. At my old house, dude, we'd get like 30 people coming to practice. Craig, you remember we'd have some stacked practice. It was some badass practices we used to have. Hell, I think one time we had close to 80 people there. One time at my birthday, we had so many people show up. It was so awesome.
I remember I trained so hard I passed out. Remember that shit?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Trent, a week before that, Robert Luke passed out at Worley's house.
Crazy.
Cold-blooded. And then a week later, you come to my house and just fold up on the weight set.
Damn sure did. Dude,
I was like, what is happening?
Going back and forth. I'm like, man, like my arm's hurting. I remember putting my arm in the cooler and I remember sitting down. I said, I know. I wake up and Colt's like nose to nose with me, shaking me. Are you okay?
Bro,
like,
you weren't sitting down,
Give
bro.
me a drink. I'm fine.
You were face down in the mud.
Yeah, bro. You fell over my pulley system.
Yep. Just collapsed. There I was.
That's funny.
Hey, I'll tell you, we got to talk about one of the best parties ever thrown for arm wrestling. When Artem flew Toddzilla down. Did you guys go to that?
Yes.
No, I freaking missed it. I miss all the good ones.
Out of control. It was.
I miss all the good ones. I missed the money tournament at the expo, dude.
It was a good time.
That.
You missed the Olympia.
Yeah.
You're missing all the good shit, Wade.
Well, we'll have another one this year at USA Fit in Orlando. Was that July 1st?
I wanna crush everyone out of state.
Yeah, I know. And that's the goal as you get better is to travel more.
Yeah. And I'm finally able to do it. And I'm finally confident enough where I'm like, I can go out of state. I can go out of state and crush everybody.
It's a lot like Chance. I mean, you finally got to take that chance like Chance did and just start. I mean, that's the only way you're really going to get recognized. You start, get recognized as, a Florida badass. But when you start going to Washington State or Las Vegas or, New Jersey, New York, wherever, and you start whooping all them top guys' asses, you're going to start getting the phone calls. Like Brandon said, hey, you want me to come to a super match? Okay, I need my room paid for. I need my flight paid for. You just get your name out there. And that's how you get to East versus West and, nationals and worlds. And, it's all about where you go and who sees you.
Yep. How you promote yourself.
Jason
keep winning.
said for $50,000 he would make a comeback.
Who said that?
Jason Toole.
Jason Toole?
Mm-hmm. Dude,
he said he'd whoop your ass.
$50,000 payout, Austin's buying bunk beds. I'm moving in.
Bunk beds? Why we need bunk beds for?
More room for activities.
Amateurs polling pros arm wrestling said how long before we can donate money in the chat? I have no idea.
It's once we get over 1,000 subs and 4,000 hours of viewing, we can then take super chat. So we're going to build this brand. And as you can see, our subscribers, we got 10 new subscribers in the last week. So, I mean, slowly. So the more you guys support us, the more you guys like and sub the channel, share the live streams, and we can really build this FAL YouTube channel.
Yeah, the truth is for this channel, though, we only need 300 subscribers.
Really?
I would love a 10,000, a million, but 300 subscribers tells me that everybody I know in arm wrestling is watching. All my Florida guys are watching. This is the main,
Yep.
Listen, this is
I agree.
for deep. Okay. This is the spot to hang out. So like, it's cool to watch arm wrestling when it's all about Michael Todd and Devin Larrett and all that, but it's a lot cooler when it's all about us. Wait, I think you're feedback. We can hear you. Is that yours?
Say what? Yeah, I turned on my other phone so I could read the chat. Sorry, it went and turned down.
This whole spot, we don't need 1 million views per video, bro. This is literally just to hang out. We're gonna at some point we're even gonna make this link public on our in our chats and all this, where anybody can be on. We'll do an hour on a Friday where anybody could hop on, and we'll have 30 guys on here just all talking shit or whatever the case happens. But the coolest thing about that is that you can be involved. Like Chris Zielinski getting on Pradeep is near impossible, right? I can't get it. No one can. Or maybe, but you can get on this show. Your boy can get on here. You can say, "Yo, let my boy Ralph get on." Cool, he's in. Let's go. Yeah. So guys, comment down below who you think will actually, who wants to get on, who you want to see on here next. But we intend to get, if you win a tournament, this is the show to hop on. You don't need to wait till the next practice to get your glory. Come on in here. let's talk about it. Let's give you some congratulations. You got some new handle you're putting out. You just, you got some crazy plans. You just want to talk and hang out. That's what this is. So it doesn't need a million subscribers. It would be nice, but I think 1,000 is super doable.
Shout out to so Ralph actually his first tournament was the last one we just went to, Florida State, right? And he got first in super heavies right hand. So and
Yeah,
it was
Brandon, that's the guy I sent you the screenshot of that gave us a really good shout out on YouTube.
Oh yeah, okay.
Smith, really good guy.
Thank
he gave
you.
us a really awesome shout out.
We got Robert Kelly in the chat. What's up, Robert? This is our Robert Kelly, the best sound and audio guy in all of arm wrestling right now, in all of American arm wrestling.
I met him for the first time the other day too.
Yeah, I tried to question him 2 different times. I'm like, yo, what's going on with this? This is. He just looked at me like, no, get the fuck away from my setup. And every time I ask him something, he had it covered. He's like, bro, I got this. I'm doing split screen. I'm like, all right. I don't know shit. If I would have touched one of his knobs, I'd have fucked the whole thing up. And dude, we had the power go out.
He would have probably headbutted your ass.
Really?
We shorted the building out. We have our whole setup going perfect, and then we get a power surge, and everything shuts off.
It was right in the middle of Noel and John's super match.
Oh damn, that messed up whoever was gonna win or lose.
The thing about it, we tried to stop it, and John's like, "No, we're gonna run this."
Oh yeah, John was like, "Let's run it."
I do gotta say though, he is one of the nicest guys I've ever met as far as arm wrestling.
He's never
Canadians, baby, Canadians.
Dude,
he's a badass too.
Listen, no bullshit. I'm sitting there, grab his hand. Everything I say, it's yes sir, okay, yes sir. Easy to ref, doesn't care. The exact opposite of Brandon Morris.
Oh,
like he does.
That makes people a nice person now. I can't be nice off the table.
Yeah, well, you got to fight in the setup, man.
He didn't fight any at all.
It's got the referee perspective.
Yeah, the referee perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Craig, I remember what I was gonna say, Craig.
Yeah, go ahead.
At Washington State, when I was like, we were going up for semifinals and finals right hand. And I had already lost left hand. I was like, in my head, or telling my buddy Max, and I was like, I have to win this. Like, I have no option but to win this right now. Like, I have to, in my head, because I know where I'm at, and I needed to win that to really.
But you got a hell of a win.
Keep going.
That's a big win for you.
Yeah, I was super comfortable with him. I know his right's not his left, but his right's still good, and I was super comfortable with him. Like,
I'm surprised to see Eli in the 198s.
Yeah, I think he was like 185. I was 185 that Thursday. But
what had happened to your eye? That I noticed you were made a post about maybe not even being there.
So I was like, I just got home from work. I was just chilling. I sat down where I had broke some glass a couple of days before, and I picked it up and cleaned it, obviously. And I came and I found another piece, and I picked it up and I threw it away. And I was doing something, and I guess a little piece of it was like a little strand of it was on my finger, and I had wiped my face, wiped some sweat off my face, and it went right in my eye. And then I ended up getting an eye infection, and I went to the doctor, and he said he can't find it, saying that there's nothing in my eye. And I'm like, listen, there's something in my eye. I was like, I can't sleep. I didn't sleep for 3 days. And
crazy.
Yeah. And then, I felt like a girl.
No, your eyes, man, you can't fuck with your eyes. I've had a problem with contacts one time. I thought I got it out, and it was fucking, I knew I felt like something was stuck in my eye, and sure enough, like for a couple days it was right in there, and you can't sleep. It's fucking crazy.
No. And then they ended up saying, he was like, you have an eye infection. I was like, I think y'all got the glass out by accident. And then he was like, you have an eye infection for sure. And I was like, well, what are we gonna do? I was like, I'm gonna be on camera in a day. I was like, I need to be fixed. He's like, I got some badass eye drops in my truck that I'm gonna give to you. And they were like $300. He gave them to me for free. And sure enough, I was fine by Saturday morning.
Probably steroids, bro. It's Probably
I don't know what it was.
I gotta hop off here.
Might have
but,
been
Chris,
Jamal's herbs.
It was. They rubbed one of them African crystals on your eye and you were healed.
And
Black magic,
hey,
baby.
just know I'm on them herbs.
That's it.
Just know.
His member
All right,
grew
guys.
3 inches.
I gotta run, but hey, Chris, I know if Austin's right there in Floral. If you ever want to hit a Sunday practice with us,
Chris
bring
knows.
Team Gainesville down. We're always at Austin every Sunday.
Yeah, I've been out to Austin twice already. Couple
Yeah,
times.
twice, 3 times.
I hold practice at my house at the same day at 5 o'clock. So
I got you.
but yeah, a lot of times I'll go out there with Brandon and we pull, and then we'll just come back here and still host it. Yeah, no,
Cool.
good time with him.
Chris, who's your crew?
We got Elbow Surfers, name of the team, and oh man, we got like if everybody shows up, I got Josh, Jeremiah, Kelly, Brandon, Ralph, Dylan, Danny. So we got like 8-9 guys on these. If I missed anybody, sorry. And but yeah, we got a pretty, and we pull out of Gainesville. I got 2 tables. I got a Freedom table. Freedom, if I like Freedom for like new people, because it really helps. I feel like a lot of the new people are very static. Their elbow just kind of like they plant it and then do. So like when you're on the Freedom table, you get a lot of movement. You get a real big idea of, oh, if I can get around this person, I can get a press down.
Yeah,
So
that's why when new guys come to my practices and stuff, I always tell them, don't worry about that pad. Just figure out what you're doing first, and then it's just practice. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about the pad. Don't worry about pinning. Just arm wrestle. Figure out what makes you feel good.
Yeah. Do you do both? Do you train both hands equally?
Yes. Well, I mean, right-handed, I definitely like, at the end of sets, I'll like keep doing a little more. Left-handed, hell, I'll do the set and just drop it. You know what I mean? Or get the set done and drop it.
You train them. But yeah.
I mean, I love my right hand. Cause I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, no, well, that's the other thing I really is interesting about arm wrestling is that your hands are so different. Like, you arm wrestle different with, at least most people do. Like it's just, most people are righties.
What you do
your whole life.
What you do in your everyday life before you started arm wrestling has definitely affected the way your hands move and work, I believe.
Oh,
when I turn screwdrivers left-handed, you're turning them this way. When you turn screwdrivers right-handed, you're always loosening them this way.
I've been see y'all later.
Later,
peace out, man.
Thanks, Trent.
I took the table out to UF. Like we took a couple of the guys. I spoke to you about it, Austin. And so again, we're just on the side of the street during a UF game, and people are walking by, and there was this kid, Cody. Bro, Cody, if you're watching, get on the table, man. Like he was a tree worker. He had never done arm wrestling before, but he had like a lot of this guy was probably like 5'8" high, 5'8" wide, 5'8" depth. Like his forearm was just so short. It was like an anvil. And bro, I could not like, and I get, I'm not Austin Wade. I'm no Trent Johns, but I couldn't get anything. Like it was just a door that closed, and he was had incredible arm wrestling strength. Oh, probably maybe a 200 pound, 5'8", 200.
Yeah.
He was.
Some people are just like that. Sometimes people are just like that.
First, I thought it was Patrick Downs till you said 5'8". There's no way. There's no way. He would have had to have high heels on.
High heels.
Well, that short lever, when it has a smaller distance to travel, and so it's harder to stop it when it's only got to boop, boop.
It's faster.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was the other thing.
Faster.
There was no time to think. Like I couldn't, before you're like, okay, let me throw in the back pressure. You're already there.
No.
What's your raccoon's name?
Nibbler is like what would be on the birth certificate, but I call her like Cooney.
The birth certificate. That's
That's awesome, dude. That awesome. Sir, this
No, it's they're like a monkey. A lot of people don't realize, like, yeah, I don't know if
Yeah.
she's just sitting here like sucking my thumb, like just that's what she's
Like
been
a
doing
baby.
right now. Yeah, yeah,
Jesus, where'd she learn that trick?
Yeah.
What up, Sarah?
from her mama, I guess.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
look at the guy, he's a guilty man right there.
That was a good save.
We got
Yeah, no,
Bowling Pros says, when are you guys going to live stream practices from different teams around Florida? It's a good
That's a good
idea.
idea. That is a good idea. I had, like I said, I got the 2 tables, and I've been just floating the idea of getting the cameras, right? And so you could just record all the practices, because sometimes you'll have a good pull and you're like, oh, let me see that again. Or like you said, just building the brand, or building people that come in and they'll, because the thing is, especially with YouTube, I'm not trying to sound like a dick or anything, but there's some people, they don't really got much to do. They're at work. They'll troll YouTube and, oh, what is this? Arm wrestling channel? I'll subscribe. So if you're putting the more content you put out there, even if you're not editing it, even if you're just filming your practices and then just uploading them, like I got Elbow Surfers as a channel. We uploaded a practice. It's got like 60 views.
This
You do
is why
that
we're
every
doing
week.
a show every night.
Yeah,
It's exactly
No, I
why we're
think
doing a
it's,
show whenever we want. We'll just do a show whenever. There's no such thing as too much. We're just hanging out.
yeah, no,
I agree.
exactly.
It's always, in the early stage, it's always quantity over quality. You need some
Yeah.
exposure. You need to get your name out there. Your quality's not going to be that high no matter what, because you're just starting.
Exactly.
But what you can do for yourself is put out some content.
Yeah, Devin's page, for instance, he walks around like this. Doesn't edit none of them.
Yeah.
Just post them right then.
He's got to that point,
500,000
where it's
views
just,
video.
Not even that. I mean, he's always been like that. Still, I mean, he might edit them a little bit now. I know he still just posts.
now
clips.
he's just straight up, he at least used to do like some, I don't know if he does training videos really anymore. He does more like where he'll just be out pulling, he'll just pull like a whole team, and then he just uploads that
because
that whole thing.
Well, he tells you his training. He trains for a set, goes and chills, does another set, goes and chills, and does
Greg,
that
I
all
wanna
day.
ask you a few things about the season.
What's that?
What class are you planning to pull for the season? I know you
Probably 200. 220. Excuse me.
What are
Yeah,
you weighing
that's
these days?
right now. I'm kind of heavy. I'm 230, 228, waking up at
You're gonna make
228.
220 11 times.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, I've just been eating a lot of carbs and stuff, so I'm normally 222. So in the morning, so I just kind of been eating a little bit.
That's not bad then.
No, I don't have a problem at all. I
Chances
feel
are
actually
you're
better.
vastly overweight. You better go jog.
Yeah, I don't want to be fat anyway. I'd really like to be 200 eventually, but I might do an experiment and just run a weight cut through the year, because I would like to downsize a little bit. I just feel like my frame, it's more like a 210, 205 guy. And then, I could just hover around that.
It would be a threat, a real threat at 198.
So this is my goal.
would.
So if I beat Brandon L. Seltzer, he's the number 1 right-handed 198 pounder right now. So if I beat him at 220, whatever, we had a weight cap for the 220.
Told me it will affect the rankings.
I don't know how it does, though. He's not even in the class anymore. That doesn't make sense to me. If someone's not ranked in that class anymore, I get that he had a past accomplishment, but it's not fair to the other pullers. Like, if I beat him, where would I go?
Maybe I think
Kids commented last night in the comments.
No, I know. I meant to.
I can agree with Chance a little bit if you look at it like a kind of like a points thing, and you look at what Brandon did in that class and how you handle him, maybe.
So this is the thing. Say I beat him at 220, then I feel like I should get
but then
a rematch at 200 for the number 1 spot.
Yeah.
Or
you just go ahead and pull him at 200.
Yeah, well, he doesn't want to cut weight for February, which I understand. But the whole plan was taking that match is I wanted to either pull him or Roger, because I wanted to try to get a ranking spot like in the top 10. Since I'm 11th right now, so
that's my goal too. I feel like I should definitely be higher on the rankings than I am right-handed.
Yes, but you're traveling now, so you're going to see that you're going to end up hitting some
Where should
tournaments
you
with
settle at, Austin?
guys that are a little bit higher than you that, that aren't like that. Like, I feel the same way. I mean, Tim Talbot, he's 7th. I don't feel that
Someone
he's
named Tim Talbot.
sorry.
Okay, Talmadge.
Talmitch.
I
So,
thought you were saying Paul Talbot and Tim Talmadge.
he's 7th, so he beat Darren Bills, which beat off the couch Doug, like how I did too. So it's kind of like, I feel like the top 10 is kind of like the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 10th guys are kind of like, it could go either way. So
Yeah. Brandon, what'd you say a minute
What's
ago?
that?
You said something right when Craig started talking. You said Austin.
Oh no, I didn't. I'm trying to send the link to Chance. I want to see him. Want to hear his opinion on some of the rankings.
oh, also,
Yeah,
like, if we want to order like some tank tops and stuff, we just do it right through the website now, right? It's all set up to do
Yeah,
the
guys,
orders.
that's another important thing. Everything is going to be automated. Tomorrow morning, there is going to be a custom jersey option. So if you want your jersey, you can order your jersey. If you want it customized, you can order it. The customization now has to be one-off, right? Because our batch order has went in. So we need to there will be a slight increase on the fee for the customized jerseys, but you will have to click a separate box on there. It's very important to understand that. And if you can still order the custom jersey, but you want to make sure you click the right one.
Can you custom the tank tops too? Can you get your name put on those?
No, that's
Okay.
another good question. You can't. The dilemma is this: is if we start going into custom merch for everything, customization, we're very soon just going to be overwhelmed. So we're going to keep it down to the jerseys and the competitive shirts.
Yep.
So those are competition only. Like a tank top would just be like for wearing in the gym. You wouldn't be able to compete with one of those on.
So I haven't. This is something me and Chance are going to run by the committee. We have a committee of 8 guys that are voting on everything. Craig's obviously on it. But I would say as of now, no, because we would like people to be in the jersey or the replica jersey. We have it's a replica of this on 100% poly shirt that is like a dry fit material that is half the price. So it is one of the cheapest items in our store, and you can compete in that shirt. But let me send this to Chance.
You can always put your name on a shirt too.
All right.
Yes,
Exactly.
yeah, that's what I was
You
thinking
do that
too.
yourself. So a good example is it costs for embroidery $2 per letter.
Yeah, my girlfriend has a cricket.
At
I'll
a
do it.
seamstress, it costs $2 to get your name embroidered on your shirt.
I can do it cheaper than that.
Iron on letters, like you said, you can Cricut vinyl press it on there.
Yeah.
Chance has entered the chat, guys. So Chance, if you would like to explain to us, maybe give us a little insight on, Craig says, if he were to beat Brandon Elsesser, but Brandon's now ranked at 198s and Craig is at 220s, how will beating him affect his ranking? You mentioned last night it would affect it. Could you explain in the chat? And I'll reiterate what he says from the chat. But that's a great question, because we would love to have Chance back on and give a little bit more clarity on how, how all the ranking system works. We know it's a Who Beats Who system, but I think if we had just an episode of him explaining it, it would be a good asset to everybody. It is Who Beats Who, but there's also other factors that play, like whether the guy had a super match at first, what the other scenario was. So in the event that you do beat him and it affects it, I would love to hear Chance elaborate on how that would be possible or what the system is. And, it very well may be you don't take his spot at 98, but let's see. He says, this is Chance's official answer. He says, Brandon is still ghost ranked at his past spot since he has wins over people behind him.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so at this, I see what he's saying. You would end up probably taking his spot. Then Brandon, since Brandon is still worth his 220 ranking if Craig wins.
I got you.
The next question is, for how long would he be ghost ranked? Is this for, Craig taking his spot. It's a one-off scenario. This happens when a guy moves and for his one last match. Is everybody that beats Brandon for the next 6 months going to be ranked where he would have been, or does Craig take over that spot and the ghost ranking disappears? We'll let him clarify on that.
Great questions.
Yes. It says Brandon will be pulling Craig at 220 pounds anyways.
I don't know now. See, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we talked
Making
and
weight, is he?
I said to him, well, I really was trying to bait him into cutting weight and pulling at 200 because I thought I could do that and have a shot at the number one
right now.
But I don't think that's feasible to do that. I need more time to keep my strength and stuff. So that's not good. But see, now we were just said, well, we'll just pull at whatever weight. But originally it was 220 to 225, that 5 pound ratio.
So Chance is basically saying it's a moot point because y'all are going to be pulling at 220 anyways.
Yeah, I'm going to be 220. And if he's 230 and I beat him, I should still be ranked in the 220s. And I don't care what he weighs, really.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean,
because he's not a super huge guy. Like, I think he only weighs like in the 220s, close to maybe 230s every once in a while. Like,
that's a great question. I think that him being overweight doesn't matter as much as you being overweight because you're hoping to take the spot.
yes, I feel like that's just my responsibility to just be in the weight, and then there's no questions.
All right. So Chance responded again. He says, for super match settings, there isn't a time limit on ghost rankings. However, if he starts losing to people below, he's now ghost ranked at a lower number. Okay. So, for example, if Brandon was ghost ranked, right now he was 5th and now he's in 198. Ghost ranked is 5th. If you beat him, you're now 5th and he would be ghost ranked at 6th. If Craig
Yes.
weighs over 220, then it will not matter at 220.
Well, I can be 225, right? Like, there's a 5 pound allowance.
He's in the chat, so he'll let us know soon. How does that affect it too if Craig makes 220 and Brandon doesn't?
I don't think that matters then, like you were saying, because I feel like I would have to have the responsibility of being that weight.
Yeah, well, it'd be nice. We'll get the official answers kind of on video too, where people can start to base their situation off this.
And you're right. I think we should have Chance on, like, maybe this weekend or.
Guys, Chance does a lot of things. He's heading up the Florida Arm Wrestling League with me. He's currently arm wrestling everybody. He's the only guy.
So it doesn't matter what Brandon weighs. If he weighs 176 or 260, it doesn't matter as long as I beat him and I'm 220, 225.
Got it. What up? Mark Mensch is in the chat. What's up?
So yeah, and then we have Chance on, and then he can explain the rankings, and then
Chance
hopefully
is doing the in the hook rankings as well as with the FAL guys. He got a lot of responsibility, and the rankings is the worst job in the world. No one wants this.
I think he's doing a great job, though. It's amazing. I feel.
How's the AIRS system going to work into will that have any, like, that ELO rating system that Corey Miller's running? Because I know your feet, all the brackets are being fed into that. So is that play a role in the ranking? Could you just use that as rankings or any?
Short answer is no, that will not determine our rankings. Our rankings will be based upon performance at the Florida Arm Wrestling League. So if you go out and beat Corey Miller, you're not suddenly ranked higher in the Florida Arm Wrestling League. However, the way that we could infuse the two is we could begin to seed the brackets based upon ELO rating. So the highest rated guy would pull the lowest rated guy, therefore giving him the most advantageous spot and the most incentive to be number one, and so on and so on and so on until your two middle guys are pulling each other, which is how it would be, the two closest. So that right there is good, but it creates less excitement.
I was going to say, if you're going for excitement, put the top two guys against each other, then you know what I mean? Instead of doing it.
So I don't want any favoritism, and I don't want to have anyone accuse favoritism or that we gave Artem the good bracket. It's going to be completely random draw. Okay, I do not even do the brackets for FAL anymore. We have Maggie, Chance's girlfriend, is killing it. Chance commented down here, said the ELO rankings will be separate. FAL rankings will be like in the hook rankings, meaning purely win based.
So
And if you want to see the Florida rankings, because I know a couple of people asked in the chat right now, you can just go to the Facebook Florida Arm Wrestling Rankings and see what they are right now. But that's all going to be changed throughout the year, with all these events here. So it kind of will give you a template of where everybody's ranked right now.
Absolutely.
You could take the top 2 ranked guys from each weight class and make the team, right? Like that's how you make, you're saying how you want to have a FAL team, that would represent Florida if we went out and, whatever. And yeah, you could have whoever has the highest rankings, the number 1, 198, the number 1, 220, and that's who represents.
So I've done some thought about that, and the way it'll probably end up working that's most fair is if we are able to set up a TAL versus FAL event. And who knows if these guys even know we're playing in this, right? Maybe we all go invade their tournament, and FAL sponsors a big van for we all hop in it and drive to Texas on a FAL invasion. I don't know, but
That'd be cool. I like that.
That is an idea. Like
I think
the
the
winners.
The points leaders. So let's say we halfway
That's
through
what
the
I'm saying.
season, we pull this off. Whoever's in the points lead has got that spot.
Or
He's
like
got the Texas super match lined up, or he's got the Tallahassee match with the Texas guy. So that would be an incentive to be the leader and to.
I think that would work better after you already run a season of the FAL, and then like the next year you're like, these guys, I'm gonna take these guys and we're gonna strike out to another state and kick some ass.
Our hope for this year is that we can get them to come to the Tallahassee event.
Yes,
you're right. So don't get wrong too. We have more cool ideas than we got days.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just talking.
So we ain't gonna be able to do all these ideas. But man, I mean, we're trying to do a banquet for the finale, our Florida Arm Wrestling Hall of Fame, where we can induct somebody, this old guy. We can get Chris Rusakis some acclaim for all the stuff he's done. Let him give us, we got a lot of cool plans.
Mike Lewis.
But an invasion sounds fucking cool, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A sprinter van and come whoop some ass.
Bring home every trophy,
that
right?
Would be
See how many of their trophies we
bring
get.
Wade and Artem. We bring Shark, bring Craig, we bring Wilton Brock, we bring Chance, we bring George and Pappy.
We need to get Pappy in town.
I just put out the legend of Jeremy
I'm
Pappy.
I'm gonna go out there probably next week or the week after, and hopefully he's there, and I'll talk to him. Last time I was there, every time I go there, I talk him and try to talk him into coming back full time. He won't. He's like,
everybody does. Everybody talks.
In 10 years.
Taught him how to top roll.
I see him every year at the Mayhem, and that's every time I talk to him, I'm like, you should come to another big tournament, but he has no desire. It's just like,
I got to kill a deer. That must be so exhilarating if you don't care about arm wrestling.
Well, he cares about arm wrestling, but
he
doesn't care about competing and traveling. It's just,
yeah. Hey,
So-
they brought Sam Harris down. He beat Sam Harris left-handed and gave him wars right-handed.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Sam Harris was like the WL champ at the time.
Yeah, and
He did-
and he's training. Sam is training. This is Pappy doesn't train. He just comes out of the woods, like you said, and he just arm wrestles, maybe once a month in season, and then he starts coming to practice. I think he'll be at practice tonight. I think I saw Chuck saying something about him coming to practice. So,
I was going to go up there.
Yeah, me too. But I was like, I ain't gonna go there after tournament. I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah, me and Chase were gonna go up there, but we couldn't get free until about 6, so we weren't gonna pull it off. But yeah, we got to get Pappy back involved. The chances are slim. At least we'll see him at Mayhem. So
Yes.
he will get one FAL.
Yeah, whenever I talk to him, he's like, whenever he was like, big and arm wrestling back then, he's like, I never even lifted weights. He's like, I didn't do nothing. He's like, I showed up to practice once a week,
dude.
and pulled tournaments.
My experience with him is I remember doing the Florida States in December. Amateurs just showed up, didn't have a clue what was going on, and then I met Chuck And then I went to practice probably like 2 weeks. Jeremy was there. I was about 280. He's like 155, and he was smashing me. And I drove home. It was the longest drive to fucking Ormond Beach, man. I was driving a fucking old Ford Ranger manual transmission, trying to my arm was trashed and I couldn't figure out. I mean, I was on so much juice too back then too. I was all juiced up, fucking felt strong in the gym, but I had
You looked crazy, bro. I was there.
No clue what to do. And it was so fucking mind blowing. And I wanted to not ever show my face again, basically.
Yeah.
It's like Larry Wills.
He grew the beard.
I grew the beard to hide my shame.
Created a new persona.
But a few
Larry Wills
later, he taught me what I needed to do, and then just progressed from there. But it's like you were saying, you were almost saying something like that too, Austin, about how you build confidence, like didn't have the confidence maybe to travel. Now you do, like, because it's all that narrative in our heads. Sometimes we're like our worst critics, and we can like kind of be our almost like a downfall or self-sabotaging mentally sometimes with stuff, so
well, my thing was for a lot of times is I don't want to travel and lose. I want to travel and know I can win, like in my like in my own self, like not just travel. I want to know I can beat everyone in my head before I go, not even know who it is. I just want to know that.
Well, remember,
I want to go and
happen every time. It's
nice to win. It's not.
Everyone
loses. Yeah, you're gonna lose, and that's a part of it.
That's a good attitude, though.
You realize that once you took third. You were like,
yeah.
fuck this, I got to win this next class.
Yeah.
I know you were fired up. When you said you have to win this, I know that feeling. I've taken third and been like, dude, I did not come out here to lose.
Oh, you have to win. I had so much money invested in to go in there. I mean, we had close to $2,000 in to go in there between me and my girlfriend.
And if you ain't
I didn't go there to lose. Like left hand, like, yeah, I care. And like, because the competitive side of me, I want to win. But right hand, I'm going to win. Not the one, I'm going to win. If I lose, it happens. It was great. Bill Umpherney, I think, was the best ref there.
Who was?
What is that?
Bill I think he was the best ref there.
Okay.
Why you say that?
Looked like he had some good refs. The setup I liked. I could tell it was taken all day.
Yeah, they were being very compliant. Like, and he was like making sure, like with me and Eli in the finals, he was making sure each of us were comfortable. He's making sure each of us were ready to arm wrestle and making sure we were both, felt good before the go. Like, he didn't want to feel like anyone was getting shit on.
Yeah, and that's all. I love when the ref says, "You like that? You like that? Go."
Yeah, yeah.
When
and he was
loving it.
What'd you think of the? How is the like styles out there? Any different?
What do you mean?
Anybody like just how they arm wrestle?
Yeah, they're weaker. They're weaker.
Eli's right hand. When I first gripped it with Eli, his right hand had a weird bone in it, like in his thumb. It was weird, like right here, like poking out. It was so weird. It was like this far out. I was like, when I first grabbed him, I was like, damn, this is weird. So like, yeah, he was like, first impression of pulling him, like, yeah, he had a different hand. He is Russian, isn't he?
And Russians got some weird hands and wrists, don't they? They got long thumbs. They got a long wrist joint. You see how hard it bends right here? It's like part of it is this long.
And he was really smart too, like this, about pulling me. And with the referees is because he was hiding his thumb from me and making them call a thumb cap, like me over capping. And I had to tell him, like, yo, he's hiding his thumb. He's pulling out every time I grab him. I was like, of course I look high.
Yeah.
I do believe he broke his arm.
He did.
He came to my house a couple years ago because he's a truck driver, where he was driving truck.
Is he?
Yeah, and he was up in Destination Daytona, and then he came down and trained. But I do believe he broke his right because
he has a big scar right here.
Yeah.
Oh,
how long ago was that?
Like I want to say maybe 3 years ago. 4 years ago, maybe.
You remember that fucking tournament, the regional at WAL, where like 7 people broke their arm in the day?
Holy
Oh,
shit.
damn.
Dude, I was there. It was like
Insane.
it was all the regional qualifiers. You had to win or get a win in a local event. Then you had to go to the regional in Vegas. And they had a Southern, an Eastern, and a Western.
Apparently they were there to win or break their arm.
Ambulances.
Died trying,
Yeah,
though.
People were
That's how
breaking
I
their
feel,
necks
though.
going to the
There's a
hospital.
lot of
I feel, though.
amateurs, though. That was when they let anyone qualify. You just had to show up, and they had people that some guy with no experience pulling Luke Kent or some crazy. You know what I mean? They didn't know how to arm wrestle. It was fucking horrible.
The best match that WAL is Shay Dickey versus Luke Kent. Do you remember that match in that finals?
Oh yeah, that was amazing, dude.
That
I
was
never
an
even knew that
amazing
Shea Dickey guy.
Shay Dickey's a badass. We got Garage Grinders arm wrestling in the chat. What's up?
They're always
Another
there.
thing about Washington, when we were pulling in
Order.
finals, Uncle John got up there and they started announcing, and like they just made it like a big show. It was badass.
Yeah, dude, it was amazing when I heard during one of your matches, and then the Artem match, of course, and then Andre and his match, man. Fucking John was amazing, and the commentating it was awesome.
I was honestly surprised I even fucking beat Artem. I thought he was finna blast through me.
That was a great win.
Shit.
Good win.
I got
tournament arm wrestling, man.
Yeah. I think he thought he was gonna be a little stronger than me, and he underestimated me.
He also
Right.
to learn how to Kings move better. If you need a lesson, Artem, I will teach you.
I think I got him off guard. Oh, I think he expected me to fight his hand a little bit more in the set, like in the after the ready go. Instead,
Yeah,
I,
looks like a good tournament, good production. I'm excited to do what we're doing. We're going to set up in the boxing ring itself. We're going to have the tables, the lighting, all the cameras. So it's going to be pretty cool. Tons of seating. The other thing is, guys, there's going to be VIP seating available for all sponsors and all people that want to purchase a VIP table to sit ringside, sit wherever. They're very affordable, but they're of limited quantity. So we may have less than 10 tables. Make sure you reserve one. Chuck knew exactly what to do at Florida States. He went ahead and took 3 of the 4 tables all for himself for the tournament. So they're going to sell out fast. We'll release them with the flyers. They will have spots, and you can, we're going to have between 6 and 10 VIP tables. If you want to come there, you want your family to sit ringside, you want them to see the show, make sure you get the table. That will be an option, but the production in the boxing ring and just the aesthetics of it. I don't know if you guys.
You got to climb into the ring like when you get in, right? Like if you're going to arm wrest, you got to like dip in.
Of course. You got. If you're tall, you get to step over the rope like Kevin Nash. Undertaker said, I'm going to try to do a front handspring over the rope.
Yeah, come bounce it off it, man. Woo!
My introduction is going to be so extra when they call my name.
Are you pulling, or are you just gonna promote?
Nah, I'm probably, which sucks because I'm going to sit here and watch 11 events without competing.
Yeah,
But
I know you like to arm wrestle too.
I might jump in and
I
have
don't
some
see
fun
that.
and sign up in the tournament maybe once or twice, but ultimately, it's not a good look when I show up. Austin and Noel, or you, Artem and Noel,
or win the money,
and then I take my own money.
Yeah, you can't.
I don't want to.
I don't know. I don't see a
I
problem
want
with
these
that.
young men to win a few dollars.
Well,
I mean, if you're
might
better,
not,
you're
but
better.
a lot of other people might. You know what I mean?
So beat them. I'd be
You
like,
can only
beat 'em.
do one thing 100%.
Yeah,
I'm going to promote it 100%.
yeah.
And the other thing, too,
I think that's a good call too.
we're going to have the commentary. It's going to be a little different on the live stream. It's now going to be similar to football, where just 2 guys are kind of announcing. We are not calling the tournament and refereeing and doing all this. We're going to have some of the ladies calling brackets on the microphone.
Yep.
Hey, Austin, Wade, and Chris to the table. While me and Craig are going to be commenting, or me and whoever, after you jump on, Tim Talman, whoever's in town hanging out. They're going to hop on, and we're just going to shoot the shit and talk about what a good time we're having. Hey, man, Austin's looking strong right there. Who do you think's going to win this? I think so. And it's going to give the live feed a much better look.
Oh, yeah.
Less rushed. I could see on the live feed as I began to get towards the end of the tournament, crunch for time, I was really sounding pressured on it. So we're going to get to a point with the split tournament and with the separate commentary where it's just going to be overall better for the viewer. And we want to get to a point where we can do pay-per-view. Even if we sell 500 of them, 300 of them, that's fine. That's just another dollar we can add to the finals pot. You know, more stuff we can buy, more tables and better lighting. And this thing is going to be crazy. We're pumping a ton of money into
Mark
That'll
said,
draw more arm
Brandon, will you
wrestlers,
take
too.
super matches?
That's a good question. So we previously announced that we were planning to do, you know, have our FAL champion, and the champion would poll last tournament's winner. That format, due to the amount of people we're going to have, is not going to likely happen. We are now going with the points race and the overall points. So the hosting competing in a super match, I think what we're planning to do is we are planning to book a high level super match. Like, for example, let's say Emil versus Brandon Elsesser rematch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Craig versus Jonathan Breida, something like this, as our title. So we still want to have some pretty good showcase matches, but I do not know, and I haven't had the exact clarification on Chance on how we want to handle the super matches. I'm the type of guy that if we have time and it settles a grudge, I'm okay with it. That being said, we've already split our tournament into 2 tournaments because we don't have enough time.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll see. We're going to see how it goes. Chance is pretty much coordinating it. We're going to have a designated matchmaker for FAL in the event that you want to contact us and see who you could pull. A lot of these out-of-state guys, let's say Stuart or Dustin Hyatt wants to come down, and he's like, hey, man, I'm coming to one event. See if you guys could get me a match. We can get Wade. We can get Noel. I can't beat him, apparently, everybody says.
Yeah,
So
I heard that.
we settled
I
down
heard that
this.
on the chat last night from
Yeah.
Trent.
So
All right, I got to dip, guys. It was good seeing you.
that's it, Craig.
Bye.
Thank you for being
All right,
on.
guys.
Be
You
safe.
got it.
Later, Craig.
Yeah, man.
Those 2 guys got a bedtime at 9:30.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't
pretty
honestly, between you and Dusty, you know, he's really good at 76 or 70, but you're just a bigger dude than him, and you give problems to people like him in the setup.
that's what I think. But
Yeah, me too, because unless you can really like your vocal back, you're gonna get destroyed.
Yeah.
Really.
we'll see. I think that if I were to truly say that, I think he's a little bit too much of a young man. I think I would bring him in deep water. I got 1,000 tricks.
I agree.
He would back down a little bit.
To say that you're not in the match is a little absurd.
You know what?
To
People
me?
see it as a diminished version. You're seeing a shadow of what I once was too. And a lot of people are judging that as their first opinion. If you'd have seen me 2017, 18, you might, and that's what I am now. It's the present, not the past. But
I don't think you're far off from back then, are you?
yeah, to a degree.
Like really
I was
far?
giving Chad Silver's problem.
Yeah,
I was
but
giving some smoke out back
I
then.
mean, Chad's probably better than he was
He is,
today
of
than he
course.
was back then.
He's never doing nothing but getting better.
Yeah,
But
everyone
I gotta get back in
is.
shape. But that's a match I would love to have. You know, the dilemma is this right now. I got two ways I can go with it. I'm 185 pounds. I can cut to 76, which is my
No
motivation.
fun.
I'm not taking nothing. I'm totally just wanting to arm wrestle. But I can't get a match at 76. When I pull on 76, they say you aren't ranked.
Yeah, you
that's
aren't
because I'm
ranked.
at 98.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and I get it. Like Stuart Hyatt told me there's really no game to arm wrestle me for his son. And
So
I
I'll
get
come to your backyard.
exactly. And for me, we fly him in. We can get the kid a ticket. Have some
It's
fun,
a
little
free
show.
Florida trip. I mean,
So,
I understand where they're coming from too. I mean,
I almost got to pull him. They were looking for a last minute opponent for the Monster Factory when Roman had to cancel. So I almost got to, but I had my kid and there was no affordable flights. The one flight that they had.
how much are they?
Well, it was day of. I was having to purchase it the morning.
Oh shit.
They were like
Yeah.
$1,000 in a 14-hour layover or something.
Oh
Like,
hell no. That's how Washington was with me. It was like every damn ticket that was like cheaper, like $300 was like, you know, you're like a whole day layover. Like, I don't have time for that.
Here's the thing, Mark. If you guys have a super match and you think it's a good match, we'll have it. But in the event that we have a booked card and a ton of matches, we are going to prioritize the higher level matches. In the end, we want John Brzezinski and Devin Larrett to arm wrestle at every FAL before we start the season, right? Or
Of
before
course.
So
That's another
that
tournament
being
I want to go
possible,
to.
we are interested in super matches, but we plan to get, we're trying to get Michael Todd down. We got Chance is a great hook to draw in some big fish.
Yeah.
A lot of people, if we could get Derek Smith and Chance Shaw to face off, that would be a good one. Maybe we get Cody West to face Chance. Maybe we get you a match with who would be a good guy for you, Austin?
I'm down to pull anyone at 200.
Who would you like
Anyone.
next? Let me hear your next call out.
What about John
Um,
Therion?
Who?
John's a
Therion,
John's a
just pulled
good
Noel?
match, but
Right-handed, I think he's a cut
he's-
above. Left-handed would be a good match.
yeah, I've been looking at the 98 rankings, and Bob Brown is who I've been looking at.
Kings mover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like-
Bob
I'd-
Brown.
I'd like to pull him. Who else is on that list?
Bob Brown
Like-
into the chat and said, "The fuck you do."
Let me go check out this list real quick. I can name off a couple names.
Yeah. You tell me the guys you think you can beat.
That's everybody, right? Just how much time do I got?
Yeah, in the next 20 years, all of them. One of them is sitting pretty at number
We'll
3. Right?
just. Yeah,
It's
so
so crazy how close you can get,
You're one win away from being the man.
see in the hook rankings, I'm not even on it. See, I could pull not Jamie Sheldon's not 98, but I'd like to pull him. I could pull, Noel, but like I don't care to pull him because we're both in Florida. I'd beat him at a tournament another day. Maybe Robbie Russell, Paul Talbot.
Oh, Robbie Russell. That's a good match. That's what we want to see. That's the one we want to see. Someone get in touch with Robbie Russell. You tell him we need him
He
down.
told
at
me
the-
last night my beard wasn't big and strong enough.
He's crazy. You look so Mennonite, it's not even funny.
Yeah, he said my
Beard.
beard's gonna have to be bigger and stronger.
Hey, turn to the side. We want to see a profile of this boardwalk. Jesus Christ. That is mega. That's so legit. Look at mine. This is
Oh shit!
for the growth.
Yeah.
We need Craig's beard oil. You
Yeah,
don't
but
have real
I don't-
horsepower.
all-
You get the
all the-
silver soul
All
patch.
those guys in 98, I don't think I'm far off, and especially if I get to train for them. I don't have nothing to train for. I pity pat around and train, and I take it serious. I take my practice serious. I take what I'm doing during the week serious. How much intake of water I make sure everything's good to go, like a professional athlete. Like, so I feel like I'm not far off from any of the top guys.
Yeah, but having that, it's like when you used to do the 40-yard dash, you'd have like somebody a little faster than you run it. You can always get that little bit more because you can see right what you're trying to get. So it's like,
Yeah.
hey, if you've got this arm wrestler, we all got them, right? Like it's just what level they're at. I got people I'm looking at. I'm like, man, Matt Baez, I want you, bro. I'm right. I know if I can work this, I can get this. So yeah, that's I
That's your
definitely
next
think.
call out, Chris.
I got yeah.
Baez.
He's
And-
got me twice in tourneys, but
another
think,
thing is
I'm close.
yeah, another thing is I don't want to be the damn person who's supposed to win. I want to be the underdog. I want everyone to think that this guy's about to get smacked
don't
by
wanna-
Greg Touye or whatever. Like this
Yeah,
guy's
no
about to
pressure.
get run over, and then I'll pull Craig. I'll pull anybody. I'm telling you, I will be ready for anyone.
Right, Touye, we'd love to see you down at the FAL. He might
I
come
will
on.
pull-
Craig don't care. He'll travel.
I know he will. That's beautiful, and I'd love to see how strong that arm is. I'd love to show him how strong I am.
And I think he makes 98s all day too. So it's not like
Oh,
we
I
have-
think
would be
think so
good.
too.
Yeah, we're gonna
What'd
get
you
off.
say
here.
you-
Go ahead, Chris.
What is-
We'll wrap
I
it
just
up.
wanted. What did you weigh again, Austin? Are you at 198? Like, are you on top of that, or are you got some
No,
room?
so you know, I chill. Like I don't know what I weighed today. It was probably around 187, I'd say.
Okay. I'll
But
take that's
but
a lot of room,
98.
man.
Well, yeah, but that
It's
doesn't
all
weight's
arms,
never.
Chris. He's got a little bird chest. It's all.
Yeah, Brandon knows. You know, arm wrestling is just arm wrestling. I can be 198, be like not a true one. I can be like a true 93, and feel like beautiful. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
Austin hasn't hit the point where he's having to cut into 98s yet.
no,
Just
that
made
won't
the
be for a
transition 2
while.
years ago from 76 to 98, winning Mayhem. That was pretty much his first 98. He won the round robin out there. It'll be 3 years ago at this one. And since then, you know, he's the guy that is probably middle weight of the class, still getting wins on the guy that cut from 205. So there's no need for, you know, this arm wrestling gaining weight, getting strong is a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Weight doesn't make you stronger. Maybe in a super match, whenever you're both like this,
Yeah.
and you both are button heads right at the beginning,
Yeah.
and maybe at the end of the match, maybe.
If all things
But-
are equal, weight matters, but the conditioning.
Yeah.
Of your
Yeah,
matters.
the conditioning, your prep, all that matters. All that's taken into effect, and the better man's gonna win, no matter the weight.
Well, man, I appreciate y'all coming on the show. I know we
Yeah.
just sit back and have fun, but
Oh, dude, thanks for having me. This is my first show.
yeah,
Yeah,
hey,
same.
this is our show, guys. This is Florida's show. So if you want to get on, you shoot me a message. Yo, I'm trying to get on the show. I'm crazy. We had Chris on just an animal. I told him he's getting on here soon. And
Bro,
it's good.
I'm coming, man. Like, you know, I'm gonna try and hit all 11 events, and I'd like to be on that pro podium by like the last, you know, 2 or 3 events.
And it's very
That's my real goal.
You know, the other cool thing, dude, is everyone's getting to know you. A lot of people might not know you.
Mhm.
Now people are like, dude, this guy's cool. At the tournament now, when they see you, they see Austin. Now they're a little less scared to walk up. Hey, what's up, man? I'm so and so.
Yeah,
Austin Wade, right? So it's just going to be another way for guys to get introduced to, you know, you go to a tournament with 200 guys, but you only know 70. You don't know the other 130. We're all going to know each other. So if you're a new guy, you got a new guy on your team, get on the show, bring him, let him sit in the background, introduce your boy. Comment down below on who you think is the next person we should have on here. Everybody was saying we needed to have Austin Wade on. I knew that we had to have Chris on. But guys, if you know someone that's exciting, if there's Eddie Bravo type person that wants to talk conspiracy theory,
Jesus Christ, you need Josh on here.
that's it.
Oh, bro, I'll talk some conspiracy with Josh.
Josh
bro.
Bell just goes, yo, dog. Yo, I'm so strong, dog.
I'm so strong.
I love him. There's no one that don't love Josh Webb.
No,
We got to
he's
get
so
Andy
funny.
Worley on here.
Yeah, you gotta get Worley on.
The Freak,
I'll join anytime.
everybody. But we're gonna wrap it up, man. I appreciate y'all coming on. Y'all are beasts. Tune into the next one tomorrow or the next day. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Have a good
Cool,
night.
man.